There's something about nature. I was given a dream assignment by Outside Magazine to go visit the national forests of Japan, to write about an obscure practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. This essentially involves just being on a trail, walking, sometimes sitting, sometimes just lying on a boulder, and letting nature pour into all of your senses. So perhaps imagine with me for a minute what this might be like. You're hearing the birds and the crickets. You're smelling the rich, loamy earth, and maybe the scent of fresh pine trees. You can feel the breeze on your cheek and the moss under your feet. How do you think this makes you feel? Scientists are actually actively studying what happens to people's nervous systems when they're doing this forest bathing. So their blood pressure drops, their cortisol levels drop, stress hormone, their heart rate variability changes to a ratio that's kind of less indicative of acute stress. They report just a greater feeling of well-being, reduced feeling of frustration, sort of an increase in mood. And so that happens in just 15 minutes of being in these woods. Nature has superpowers for us. And there's even a dose effect. It looks like the more time you spend in nature, better things can happen. So it looks like time outside in nature can also make us more creative. When we spend time outside in beautiful places, a part of our brain called the subgenual prefrontal cortex quiets down. And this is a part of the brain that's associated with negative, self-involved thoughts. When you're out in the wilderness, after a few days especially, you start to experience your senses in a different way. You start to see things that you might not have otherwise seen. We've known this for a long time. Everyone from Aristotle to Beethoven, Darwin, the Bronte sisters, Wordsworth, Einstein, the list goes on and on. So many people attribute walking in these beautiful spaces to being critical to their creative process. What happens, though, when we spend even more time in nature? We know that physiological changes happen, but what happens kind of on a more psychological level? I think that there are times in our lives when we need kind of an immersion in nature more than at other times. One of the chapters in the book is about women veterans with PTSD, and they have found some tremendous kind of comfort and relief. They weren't replaying their own episodes in their minds. They were paying attention. I think there's something too about really profound natural beauty that, facilitates this positive emotion of awe. There's actually a whole kind of line of studying about awe, like these awe studies. And what they show is that when we experience awe, it takes us outside of ourselves and makes us feel part of something larger, which it really does seem to be kind of the opposite of PTSD. And by doing that, it also makes us feel more connected to each other. So nature can be so helpful to us in so many ways. Wilderness advocate John Muir understood the power of wilderness to help heal our psyches. He wrote, "Between every 2 pine trees, there is a door leading to a new way of life." There is a simple recipe to improve the quality and meaning of our days, and it's to open Muir's door. Go outside. Go often.